Welcome to the Christian Contractor Podcast.
Christian Contractor Podcast.
A show created for kingdom-driven Christian contractors that are focused on scaling their business in God's name while positively impacting the world around them. If you're ready to ascend from a contractor to a purpose-driven business owner, we're here to serve you. Here's your host, Brandon Guthrie.
Why technology fails. The real problem isn't the software, it's adoption. What's up? I'm Brandon Guthrie with Dream Design Labs on the Christian Contractor Podcast, where it's our mission to help Christian contractors bring the passion and purpose back into their business and scale it in the name of God so that we can positively impact the world through the abundance we create together. Thanks for tuning in. I'm very excited to have Dean Curtis from Engage with me today. Welcome and thank you for being here, Dean.
I'm grateful for the opportunity. Great to be with you today.
Amazing. Yeah, for Christian contractors listening in right now, you should be on the edge of your seat. Dean, we're lucky to have him here, a wealth of knowledge. It's going to be super exciting. Before we hop into the magic, let's open up in a quick prayer. Dear Father, Son, Holy Spirit, I just pray that you be here with us in this podcast, for everyone tuning in, that we'd remember the main thing, keep the main thing, which is putting you first, glorifying your name, making disciples of the nation, loving our brothers and sisters, being the salt and light of the earth. I'm thankful for my brother, Dean, that you brought him here today. This is a divine appointment. Excited for the value that he's going to be able to bring to the industry today. And I just pray that as we go out into the world, that we would be a light in the darkness and the crazy times that we're in right now, that we can make our business mission fields. So I pray that through this message, our contractors are inspired to make that happen today. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thanks so much.
I am. Awesome. Okay. Very good. So excited to have you here. Before we hop into some gold nuggets, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Wow. So you know what? I think a lot of times you get that question and the first thing you say is, well, I'm the CEO of Engage and this is what I do. You know, first and foremost, I'm Tracy's husband. I'm Emily and Sophia and John and Lila's dad. And to me, that's the greatest gift. And then, by the way, I have a job that helps me provide for all those amazing people. And that is being the CEO of a software company. Mm-hmm. I have tons of passions outside of work too. I love to call it life work integration. There's no such thing as balance. So yeah, I'm all of those things all in one. Spend various amounts of time doing each of them and love every minute of every day.
Wow, that's amazing. And I think you're being engaged. I've actually personally used it. It's an amazing software. If you haven't already checked them out, check them out. We're going to dive into it here in a moment. But Dean's being a little humble. I think obviously we had a little bit of a conversation of what your history looked like. I mean, give us a little bit of the elevator pitch on how you got to this point and where you're at now.
You know, I love the origin story. I love hearing people's origin stories. Like how in the world did you get to today? Matter of fact, in my men's group this morning, we were talking about how every day leading up to today was getting you to whatever this was, good, bad, or indifferent, whatever path that was. My professional path started as a classroom teacher. So I was middle school math teacher in Baltimore County Public Schools, did that for about 4 years. Loved technology and thought maybe I could have a future in technology. So I was leading technology efforts within the school and had the opportunity to go work at Oracle, which is a big, database software company. And that was really my first foray into corporate America. Realized very quickly, culturally, I wasn't aligned with some of the things at that company. Great company, learned a ton, would never talk bad about them because it really gave me my start. And then went on to a much smaller company called IntelliSync. Most people don't know it because it was a small company. But if you ever had a BlackBerry and you synchronize that with your Outlook or Lotus Notes, that was our software. So we were selling software to embed in other people's platform. Went from there to Palm to Apple. Spent 8 years at Apple leading technical programs for worldwide adoption of iPhone, iPad, and Mac. And then came here to Engage about 9 years ago. It's been a very quick 9 years as we built this software company.
Whew, wow. So for our Christian contractors listening in right now, we, like I said, wealth of knowledge. So excited to hop in the gold nuggets here today, which leads us perfectly into our first question, which is, what do leaders usually blame when new technology fails? And what's the uncomfortable truth they usually miss?
I think it's very easy to blame the technology. I think it's the most obvious thing. Oh, the technology just didn't work for us. When in reality, I think the root cause of technology failures or failure to adopt is poor planning. I think if you were to hire a new employee and on their first day, you didn't give them a roadmap for success or metrics to measure their progress or the right training, how could you expect any results from them if you didn't set the stage properly, right? We do a very thorough job of onboarding our new team members here at Engage because it's up to us to train them on the company culture and the job responsibilities, where the coffee is, like all of the things that help make them successful. And I think that a lot of people miss that when they're thinking about technology. So they'll buy the new piece of tech, yet they won't spend the amount of time that's required to really think through, well, how is this going to disrupt and change how we work? And it could be something as simple as a new app for recording personal time off. Well, if you don't go through and then all of a sudden people are like, how do I request time off? Maybe you haven't done the right homework to say, all right, well, here's the amount of training that it's needed. Here's how so I always like to think of it this way. We train, we practice, we do, and then we assess. So if we can have that 4-part series of, all right, did I provide enough training? Did I actually give them time to practice the thing, whatever the technology is? Did I assess, or did I give them a chance to actually do it live? And then can I actually assess how successful they were? That to me is a great loop to go through. And what's interesting is we think of technology as like software because I'm the software guy, right? But if you bought the crew a new nail gun, but never taught people how to use it to put a roof on, and then all of a sudden somebody comes back with a nail through their finger, like maybe we failed that same thing, right? Train, practice, do, assess. Maybe that's where we fell apart. And I think the problem is you have to look yourself in the mirror in that and say, where did we as leaders fail to give the team the right tools? We wouldn't do it with a new hire. We shouldn't do it with a new piece of technology either.
Yeah, extreme ownership. Right? It's a systems problem, not a people problem most of the time, is what I've heard.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you do the assessment and you're like, hey, wait, it wasn't a system problem. It was a person problem because we did all of those steps. Okay, you have people problems, but you have to look at the system first because I think the system can be to blame before anything else.
And in the home service space, and we're niched into roofing. You're talking about nail guns. It can be a fast moving type of culture in the business space, in the industry. So it's like, hey, no, you need to pause. You need to create a plan before we go into X, Y, and Z, whatever that is. And in this case, we're talking about technology where people are, which kind of leads into the next question of how do most people fail? Give us some good examples of where home service companies fail in adopting technology. And it's like, this was a great technology. It wasn't implemented properly, trained properly, or executed properly.
Yeah, I think number one, misaligned expectations. So they expect it to do a certain thing, but they never say how they're going to measure that expectation. So in their brain, there's an expectation, but there's no metric to say, yes, this is our measurement of success to do that. Like in our world, we ask every one of our new customers to say, well, what's your current close rate? And if we can't help you raise your close rate by using Engage, then why are you buying it? Like, we want to help you increase your close rate, or maybe it's time spent in home, or it's upsell opportunity or deal size, whatever that metric is. We want to make sure our customers have that. And I think a lot of people don't put that metric on it. It's a feeling, and you can't make decisions. I mean, sure, there's the gut that tells you something's right or wrong. But if you really want to assess success or failure, you need to understand the metric that was designed to move and how you prepared to do that. And to me, I think that's where a lot of people fall down. They don't understand what the metric of success is for any piece of technology. And when you do that and you can measure it, you can say yes or no, and then maybe tweak the plan accordingly.
Wow, that makes a ton of sense. And talk to us about how Engage solves this problem.
Yeah, I'm not sure we solve the general tech adoption problem, but the way we help our customers think about it is we do what I said. Like, we ask them, what are you trying to move? What number in your business are you trying to move by adopting this technology? It's like I mentioned earlier, you're hiring a new person. What value are they going to bring to your organization? I would think if you're going to hire a new team member, whether they're in the back office, the front office, in the field, they're actually driving productivity and revenue for the business, or whatever the metric is. It could be, we get our bills out faster. Well, that's great, because that could lead to revenue. Or maybe it's we have, more efficiency, or we have cleaner job sites, or whatever it is. That metric really matters. So in our onboarding process, we ask customers to really define, what are we moving here? Are we just moving professionalism? Hard to measure, but some people love what we do because it makes them look more professional. It's not an outdated PDF or flip book that's got coffee stains and the oil stains from whatever burger they had. Like, it is something that is really professional. So maybe that's the measurement, but we always ask that, and I think that's the critical piece to not just what we do, but how we hold our customers accountable, because we want to be held accountable to help them achieve those goals. Our success is only possible when we help our customers be successful with the technology they're buying from us.
And I've personally used Engage, love Engage, but for our listeners that are living under a rock and haven't used it yet, talk to us about what Engage is all about.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. Try not to make it's not a commercial, but I do love what we do, right? I'm so super passionate about it. We find that a lot of contractors, they really want to up their game in the in-home sales presentation world. And I hesitate to even call it presentation, because most people do not go in the home and sit in front of somebody and drill through 50 slides. Like, if you do, you're probably doing it wrong. What we do is we give them a tool to enable their sales team to and they create amazing experiences that help them close more business. So it's an interactive tool that their sales team can use. They don't have to go straight in a line. They can move to where the conversation goes. So it's very dynamic. And there's interactive elements. So you can have depth to the presentation, to the content that you provide your sales team, not just length. So what I mean by that, like, the practical example is you have a page with the 10 color samples for the roof. Well, if they're interested in number 10, do you want to flip through to 10 pages to get to the examples? Do you want to tap on that color and up pop 15 examples of that color roof on an actual house? Like, that's the kind of stuff that we can do. But that's just the beginning. It's the content, but it's also all the infrastructure to make sure that Brandon and Dean and Sally and everybody has the content that they need. And then we measure with analytics. So we know who's using what, how long they're using it. And then you can tie that to success metrics and then coach based on how people are using the content. If you've done what I said earlier, you've trained, they've practiced, you've given them the opportunity to do it, that third step. Now you can look at the analytics and say, oh, wow, I see that Brandon's doing exactly like we trained, and Dean, you're not. And guess what? Brandon's closing at a 10% higher rate than you. Looks like you need some more training. Or Brandon's doing it totally different and he's closing at a 10% higher rate. Brandon, what are you doing? What can we learn from that in order to get better?
I love that. Wow. Yeah. So I personally use it. It's interactive. It's cool, right? You click around, it'll expand things and so many, and the analytics so powerful. So many amazing tools to use with Engage. It kind of leads me to asking a question of, how is AI impacting Engage? Obviously now AI is in the world here, in our world. And I'm excited to hear how it's probably, I'm assuming that it's going to propel Engage to the next level, about the capabilities. What gets you excited about the future of how AI is going to be able to help take Engage to the next level, which is going to, in the end, help your customers get to that next level of a wow factor presentation that almost no one can compare to.
That's right. And every piece of that journey that I talked about, the creation, the sharing, and making sure everybody has what they need, and then the measurement can be impacted by AI. And we are very, very intently focused on ensuring that we stay current with the latest technology to do that. So can I deliver a better creation experience? Or think of it this way. If you're a sales rep, how can I easily use AI to customize that presentation to meet the specific needs of the person I'm going to see? So sales leadership and marketing wants a very standard piece of content that's delivered to the sales team. But could we leverage AI to customize it so when you come to my house, I'm able to make it look more like my neighborhood or speak to some of the pain that I talk about during the discovery process? Can we have the content actually update in real time based on some of the conversations we're having? So we're thinking about all of these ways to impact the actual content that people are able to bring. I mean, you know, one of the biggest problems are that people come to us with? They don't have pictures of the work they've done. Well, can AI help us create better content, better images, maybe take some of the okay images they have and enhance them to really showcase the power of what that company brings? And then from an administration, why should I pay an administrator to click in an interface to add branding to the system? Why can't I just talk to it and have AI do that for me? And then on the analytics side, I don't want to look at rows and columns in a spreadsheet. I want to interact with it. I want to ask it questions. So no future product announcements yet, but I can tell you we're looking at all these areas because the way I think about it is if you have to click in an interface, that shouldn't happen. I should be able to talk to the interface and get the same thing accomplished.
Wow. The expectations and standards are rising with AI into the industry. And final question for today, I want to ask, what gets you excited personally about the home service space that you serve? What gets you excited about the future of the industry? Private equity is pouring in, this, that, the other, AI, all the things.
Yeah.
What gets you excited about the industry as a whole?
I love the people in this industry. I think it's just unbelievable how I'll talk to somebody let's say an exterior modeler here in Philadelphia. And then I say, hey, can I connect you with this person who we're working with in Ohio, non-competitive, the amount that they will share best practices and talk to each other, the collegial nature and how people help each other. I absolutely love that. And I think there's ways that we might be able to help bridge some of those gaps through our customer base so that people can help each other and we can learn from them to deliver even better solutions that solve more problems for them in their sales, production, back office, marketing. Like I think there's more problems that we can help them solve. So I love this industry because they're so self-supporting. And I think we could have a role to play in even bridging some of those gaps and building some of those bridges to introduce and help people. And we got some plans around that as well.
Amazing. So everyone listening in, I personally know the power of getting involved with the demo at the kitchen table with the homeowners, how impactful that can be. I just hopped off a couple calls this week of me personally getting involved in those processes. And I can tell you right now, I thought majority had it figured out. I just got to shoot it straight. Most people don't. And if you're able to connect with Engage, you're going to be able to take your presentation to the next level where you're perceived as maybe the most expensive option when really your quality at a fair price, but that presentation is able to separate you from all the other home service, all the estimates that they're getting, because the smart homeowner should get multiple estimates. That's what you or I should do as homeowners, is get multiple estimates, but we want to stand out. And with Engage, I think that's a surefire way for you to stand out. So if you're not already signed up with Engage or have heard with Engage, you need to check them out, which leads me to my last question. Where can people find you? Engage.
So they can find Engage at engage.io, INGAGE.io. And then if you want to connect with me, I'm on LinkedIn. Look up Dean Curtis from Engage on LinkedIn. Maybe we can even put a link to my profile here in the podcast. It would be great. I love having conversations with people about this topic, not necessarily just, presentations, because I actually don't think it's about presentations. I think it's about embedding your sales process in a really predictable way that your team can be successful. We just happen to provide technology to do that. I also love helping people think about the deployment of technology, because like hiring new employees, you need to have a plan. And I got some materials that I could definitely help people with to think through that process.
Wow. You're going to have to send me those materials, because maybe
Sure.
we can do a follow-up podcast and dive just into that, because I know, right, high level, I know that a demo well done can separate you, but I think what you're saying is like, it's so much more than that. And I could see how you could definitely bring so much more than that. It's like, yes, that's one component, but understanding the full process, analytics, planning, all the things that support what you're doing, it feels like it's going to have to be probably a second podcast where we dive into maybe even frameworks, how we think about things,
Totally.
things like that. So I'd love to get you in here for a second one if you're good with that.
Absolutely.
All right, you heard him, pre-approved. So we'll have to get you lined up for another one. We're gonna dive deeper. This is very high impact, maybe a little bit more surface level today, but next time we'll dive in deeper into the thinking, psychology, strategy. I mean, there's so much to unpack there. I personally, we started out in marketing, then it became marketing, lead generation, and appointment setting. Then it became lead generation, appointment setting, and sales process. I'm falling in love with understanding sales process, strategy, psychology. So I'm looking forward to nerding out more on that. So everybody, check him out, engage.io. Dean Curtis on LinkedIn. We'll drop links in the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into the Christian Contractor podcast today. I'm Brandon Guthrie with Dream Design Labs. If you're a Christian contractor that wants to grow your business in the name of God, learn how we do just that at go.dreamdesignlabs.com/apply. Check it out. It's free, and I guarantee you'll get great value from the content. Remember, marketing doesn't have to be hard. All you need is the right tools and the right heart to serve. Till next time, stay blessed. Dean, I really, really appreciate you being here, and I'm looking forward to diving in deeper on a follow-up call and nerding out on sales process. It's going to be
Awesome.
great.
Thanks, Brandon.